Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're looking at the sneaky peek first, and then it's a what's on my desk and what's still on my desk. Here is a die cut, the tree line die cut from Tim Holtz. I cut it out of a green paper and put it on this one. Over here we have a northern saw-whet owl, and I had a tree line stamp that I put in the background here. And then the next page, up here I have this pretty little, I don't even know what kind of bird that one is. Anybody got an idea? And then down here I've got kind of a neat concept. I wanted a door that opened. So I've got a little notch cut out of this piece of paper on a brad. This is just a little dangle on it. And then I have it where these are two separate sized rounds that I built up. So I've got a real small round underneath of it, like 3 or 4 layers. And then I've got a couple of layers of this larger size, which I think is an inch. Is it an inch? It must be an inch. That's 1.5 inches. Okay. So that's how I made that closure. And we used to have something on the farm that was real similar to that. Okay, then you open your doors, and it has this inside, the Home Sweet Home. And I couldn't see how I could use that in this journal, or any journal, without doing something to it. So that's what I decided to do. Just make it like a little fold. And it also is a pocket. So up underneath of it, I glued it in a U-glue. And up underneath of it, I had this, and I did a stamp from some of the Dollar Tree stamps. And it has like a little crackle and brick wall. And you could write on the back of it. And then it just kind of tucks right up underneath. Oh, that's not underneath, though. You have to make sure you get the right part. It can tuck in the inside of this if you wanted it to. Okay, so that's our sneaky peek today. Let's get on to showing you what I still have on my desk. So, I know you remember the nature journal. I guess that's what I'm calling it. It's either nature or wildlife something. Anyhow, so I needed to make a larger spine for this piece here, because this one is just not big enough. What is it? I made it at 1 3/4, and that is just not big enough, because I haven't even added any of the cards, journal cards, filled any pockets yet, and I'm already at that. So I don't think it's going to work out. I mean, I could, and I could make a really strong closure for it, but I feel like I need to cut these off, put 2 more strips on there, and I built up 2 more pieces. This is for the inside. It's only, getting up to where I can see the measurements. Okay, the inside piece is 2 3/4, so it's a whole inch bigger. And then this is the one that'll go on the actual cover. It's a little bit larger at 3 inches, just so, you know, when you fold it in, it's going to be big enough to hold this. There we go. So you've got that little 1/8 of an inch piece where the 2 sides can fold up on it. That's how I usually make my hidden spines. So, yes, I've got to get that done and get the cover done before I can show you anything else, and we can finish this one. Next, that's still on my desk, and I hadn't even touched it yet, is this trash journal, the total junk journal. So I've been saving things along the way. Pharmacy bags, Burger King cookie bags. This was from a cereal pack. You can actually see this piece of cereal still in there. This is from when we went to eat soup. They give us little doilies. I think this is an envelope from the shop where she paid me, from the bank. So you can see, and this is from Red Lobster. You just, collect things. I've got a regular bag in there. Here's a strip from one of Mom's diamond art. I thought maybe I could incorporate that somehow. I've got aluminum foil in here. I was going to do like a special kind of technique or two with. Another envelope. I've got a calendar, an old calendar in here, which is going to be what's going to cover my pages, which is this. This is my, from Alaska when we went in 2004. It was just a magazine, and it has mostly these paper pages in it. So I was using it for a glue book, or, glue on, and then I just kind of folded the page up after that page got used. And so I've got a pretty cool little book here. And, it's a junk journal that you don't even have to put together, which is wonderful. So you could use an old magazine as the base. You can see this one, I kind of messed up one when I folded it. But that's okay. I'll cover that up and you won't even be able to notice. So we will get to that soon. And I have my antique journal, which I need to do, which you've seen me advertising this a couple times. We have the rice paper pieces, which I'll decorate some just bare pages or something with. Maybe one side will be bare where you can journal, and the other side will have a pretty decoration. This is, and I've decided to make it a 12 by 12 size. That's why, I'm just going to fold them. I don't want to cut off anything in this because it's so pretty. I just can't see myself. Here was a piece from one of my old paper pads, some silverware, which, as you have seen with the flip-throughs, has a lot of that silverware and plate and cups in it. Mom gave me this. I don't know. It must have been a restaurant, Aunt Sarah's Pancake House. It says Richmond, Virginia. I think Mom went there with one of her husbands and got something to eat. But if you notice, it's like all these old advertisement kind of things in it. And like on the back side, you can really get to a lot of them. And I thought, well, maybe I could cut out a few of those and put on my pages. Like there's an old military gun, and like a shirt waister kind of a thing, magic lamp, all kinds of things like that. So, and here is that little bucket of things I was telling you about in a previous video. It was from the paper studio, and it was die cuts. And I don't know if you can see that, 2213874. I don't really think it had a name or anything. But it has all these old-looking things in it. Now, some of these I can use in a steampunk journal. And then others I could probably incorporate into here. There's a few cameras, a typewriter, and then sewing. So, I don't know. I can probably work a few of those into this because all of those elements are also in here. Alright, so that's the antique journal. I'm hoping to start that as soon as I get rid of the wildlife journal. All right, two others that I've got on the horizon to do are a photography journal, which I talked about with Wayne. And I don't know that I've got that much stuff in here to do a photography journal. It may be a very small journal. So I did this recently in the December Ember. And then I've got a travel journal. I'm thinking of making up one or two, maybe. Maybe it might be two small ones. Because Natasha at the shop said that a couple of travel journals with maps and things inside. So we would use a bunch of maps, or what do you call those things? An atlas. I've got an old atlas under my desk. And it would be perfect for that. So those are on the horizon. If I forgot to say it, I want to thank everybody for coming by to visit and seeing what I'm doing today. This is just like a little quickie kind of video. I got to go with Mom today to take her to the doctor, and we'll probably go to Walmart, the usual MO. But yeah, when I went to the shop, I've been selling down on everything. And so I need to make a few more smaller, simpler journals and such. And so I'm trying to clean up a lot of things that I've got here. Now, Miss Tommy, Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy, gave me a paper pad, and it was Enchanted Garden by BoBunny. So I took that and I split all the papers, and they are in these two books. Now I put a little bit of lace here because this paper cracked a little bit on the corner. So I just put this pretty little lace border on there, which these are, I don't know if you'd call them kind of a fairy. It's like an enchanted garden. I didn't put any gnomes, I don't think, but you know, I might have one in here. Oh, I do have a gnome. So I took some of that daisy paper that I've got, and I added that in here. And these pages, these are two-sided, but all of these from the Enchanted Garden were only one-sided, so the other side was white. So for the cover, I put two together, and like here is what's in this pocket. And I took scraps that I had, and I made these pockets. You know, I had all those strips left over, and then a few of the smaller ephemera pieces I made a pocket out of. So really bright and cheery, you know. And when I put these two together, I made them a pocket inside. So I've got pockets on the pages, and I got pockets in a side tuck situation. Like there's a few fairies in here. Here's like a little garden path. I took the path less traveled. And yeah, I thought they turned out pretty cool. Really fun. Little girls and stuff. Now here is that pocket I made the other day. I don't know what I called it, but it was from all the cut-off scraps. This has Live Your Own Fairy Tale. And I really like this purple flower. But there was a tuck spot right there. And there was a tuck spot all over this thing. Like there's a tuck spot up in here. There's a tuck spot in there. And then you got more on the back side. So I don't have closures on these. I don't think they need them. Here's the one gnome. And there's like, and I forgot to tell you, there's a little tuck spot here if you want it. There's also one here. And then there's one over here. Oh no, this one doesn't have it. This one does. I'll have to show you on the next one. This one I glued down totally. But on the other one I did a U-glue, so there was a side tuck as well. Here's a fairy. And whoops. And then there's a couple things over here. And then I had some stickers Tommy gave me. They had that white border. I detest that white border, so I always cut them off. There we go. But the colors, you know, purples, teals, greens, that's all the cool colors. So, you know, they're always great to see. And it had a lot of pretty little pieces of ephemera that went with this. This one I had to do I don't know why I got the cut up. I think it was something to do with the other side. Where is the other side? I don't even see it. It was something to do with the other side. Okay. So, I love that pattern. And that one's kind of busy. They do have sort of busy patterns. I've got a sticker butterfly there. Bunch of mushrooms. Here's like a postcard that was in the ephemera. And as you can see, my pockets are just like strips of things. And then we have a little fairy girl and a moment in time. Now this is another one of the woven pockets, a braided pocket. I think it was braided. Okay, now this one's the one. See, you got tuck spots on those sides. And Tommy also sent me these fairy cutouts, die cuts. And here's another one. Whoops. There. So you could tuck her in there if you wanted to. Actually, I might just do that so they can see. And then here's a couple of butterflies and a key, and there's another key. I love keys. All right. There's a fairy girl. And that was just like the part of a page, and I just utilized it on that pocket. It was one of those strip pages where it gives you strips of stuff. And of course, and there's a big dragonfly on there. And I like where it put this up on the top instead of everything being on the bottom. And then here's another fairy in the moon. Well, actually, she's not a fairy because I don't see any wings. Do you? I don't see any. And then I really like this one. It looks like rock. So there was that one. And then the next one has like, it was the, what do you call it? The stone look. Now, I put the Live Your Own Fairy Tale back here in this pocket. And then there is a pocket up here that I just hadn't put anything in. It's the door. It's on top of the stonework. And I didn't put a thumb pull. I might ought to. I'll think about it. It's going down to the shop today, so I better do it quick. Yeah, we're going by there after we get done with everything else. Oh, this has You Are Beautiful. So it's got mostly the same thing. Now that little postcard, I didn't have any other ones, so that I wanted to show you that. And then it's about the same thing. There's a little fairy sticker. I've got some of the fairies here. There's my woven braided pocket. The gnome, another fairy. Most of this stuff you've seen, because a lot of it was the same in each one, but there were a few things that were different. Because, you know, they'll give you the 2 pages alike. And this one's like the bird on the other one I just showed you, the cover. I only had one of those left because I used that on some kind of other project. Then the little goalpost one was different. And then there's that fairy. And another braided pocket. And there's a squirrel here. He's a little sticker. And then I got that. Okay, so there are those 2. Those are larger ones. But, and then I've got, how many have I got? Paper bag journals. I've been working up storm. I can only get 4 a day. One day I did 3 of them. Finished the 4th one the next day. Started 2 more. And then another day I did last 2. Okay. So, I've been needing these bad. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. So, I did some die cutting. I had stickers from the Dollar Tree. And then I did a bunch of these little 6x6s that Tommy sent me. Paper crafting with Miss Tommy. Am I in full screen? Here we go. So these 2 are sort of spring. So I did a little stamp and die cut of that flower. These have these little bright, shiny things to write on the back of. I did stamping in here. These have some bright and colorful little, and these are mostly pinks. These 2 journals. This isn't exactly pink, but I thought it was summer and spring. So I've got kind of like strawberry pictures there. And then I did a die cut fence, and I've got shine. I just wanted some bright elements in here. And that's where the sparkly comes in. This was a little die cut from the Dollar Tree. Real cute. They give you a neat one now and then. Now this was a basket of apples. I kind of went with it. Some more stamping. And then that's all of that one. Then we have the other one that's sort of on the pinks. Now this was out of a Stamperia pad. And I don't know where she got these images, because that's where I remember it. I I can't remember what the name of it was, but I know it was Stamperia. And there's a shine. And it's basically on the same concept. See the little bunnies in the background? And this one had trees with the fence, little birds, and there's the apple barrel. Now the black is kind of off-putting, but I didn't want to put it on a black background, so I was kind of stuck. There's that same little die cut. And then I've got the bright back here. Now this is out of another paper pad. I can't remember which one that was. More stamping. And then it's got like a bike on the back of there. Alright, our next one is Christmas. I did these tags a while back. I've got another one in here, but it was where I was stapling and doing layering, and I did a little bit of, I did a die cut with dimensional paint and, and all kinds. It's like a Santa Claus, and I don't know, that was a sticker that says sing. And I went to Hobby Lobby last month, and I got this little sticker pad that was like half off, and it had all these little mugs of cocoa, and I went and put them in here. Yeah, real cute. I got that same bright, but I did like little punch outs, and I put the cocoa on there so it would kind of stand out. And this one's like greens and anything to do with Christmas. Christmas colors. Here's the other tag. That one I stapled this music on, and it talks about sleigh and riding and songs or something. There was trees, a little Santa. That one's Baby It's Cold Outside. And then Tommy had sent me these like animals with wreaths and antlers. Okay. But that's mostly what this one is. It's just those little... And then on the back, there's more animals and stockings. So it went with the stockings up here. Okay. Next is a winter one. And I got for free, when I got this digital, this thing of stamps. A whole page of stamps. So I've got those in here for extra goodies. Because there's like a little fox and little squirrel and hedgehog, and here is like a double journal card that you can write on. I love that image there. I did a bunch of die cuts of different snowflakes that I had out of like a pewter color. This was actually, I don't know if it was like, you could get it at the bank, and it was, I don't know if I've got it still down in here where you can see it. I think I've messed it up. Anyway, it was where you flip up and you could put money in it, and it had like an oval cut out where you could see the president's face. But I think that's where it come from, and it had a happy holidays, but I cut it off. I wanted it for winter. What's inside here is, I think, mostly blues. I think this one's got a lot of blues. Here is a cardinal and a pretty lamp and a cabin, and every other page is like the solid blues. I had a lot of blues that she gave me. This one has a bunch of the wolves on it. This was actually from an envelope somebody sent me. That's why these numbers are on here. It's my zip code. But it was a pretty little church in the snow. And then we have this one, which is another one of those bank cards. And it was sort of like a pretty blue, almost like the Aurora Borealis look. Dashing through the snow. Another double journal card that you can write in. I love that. It's pretty. And then I've got that one. I love this scene. Of course, these are cut off so they would fit in here, but I really like that. So I was trying to just think of all these different ones. And here's a phone one. I think this is the phone one I was talking about, Bernice. But I love this phone. Oh. As you can see, I did it in that other project I did the other day. And then I just cut everything down. Here was the telephone directory. I forget what's in here. I think it's like black and whites. Mostly. Here's a pocket I didn't fill. but I gave you the option. Like, you could really write on these pages as well. They were journaling pages in that kit. Here's the overall with another pocket. And I just kind of filled it up. This was a hodgepodge page of different pieces, and I put that all together. Yeah, I did the black and white cards inside. Okay, I really liked how this one turned out. She had these pages that were had the silver writing on them. And then I had been saving this one to do another journal card, and I decided, no, I'm just going to put it on here, and I'm going to let it stand a little above. Now, it was a sticker, so I took my cornstarch bag and really plastered it so it's not sticky anymore. I've got like a butterfly here. I put the "Have a Nice Day," and another little cutout from those daisy papers. And then it's kind of like in the blues. I think this one's mostly blues as well. Oh, I forgot to fill this one. Crap. I set this to the side. I have that one sticker pad that I used in it. Here was another little potted flower with a bird. These were just 3 strips that I cut off because I have to cut this 6-inch down to fit. And so I just put those 3 strips together and a little label that I had. And that finished that off really nicely. Here was like a reflection page. And then another blue page. And that was all of that one. Yep, I better set that one to the side so I remember it. Now, you know, I've still got a bunch of stuff Chastita sent me. It has to do with Halloween. So I did a witch one. And this was a bunch of those little stickers that she had sent along with her stuff. And I just cut them out and I made borders with a lot of them. So here we go. We got this one. It's like a witch apothecary kind of thing. So you got all of this. You got this here in this pocket. And it's just a hodgepodge of stuff. When it wasn't her, like, things from the box she sent me, it was just like a Mod Podge of all these different things. And I was trying not to get too cutesy, but I really like these witches here. There's another scene from the apothecary, and one of those moths from the book that I had. Now, it had a happy fall over here, so I covered it with 2 stickers. And what's inside is just browns. I try to keep everything the same colors. Like, here's another one of those witches. And another apothecary kind of scene. And this was from Crafty Cat. Those women I was using for the, what was it? The Just Chillin' altered book. And I had one girl left over, so I put her there like she was a witch. Okay. And just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And then I've got like that brown background. Okay. The last one is Train. And it's a pocket up here. I kind of ripped that. It's like a cardstock. And I glued it down to where I had just a tiny little pocket in there. I could put my train ticket in. And then it's got some stamping from a Tim Holtz stamp pad that I've got. And it's got a little bit of a map page here and there. These were stampings from where you've been. The journey is the destination. And I forget what's inside here. I think it's just a Mod Podge of, like, that's different things. Now, this, I wanted to show this to you. I got this at Michael's a while back. And I think it was like the last Christmas, after Christmas, they had these. And it's where you would take and you layer it. They gave you all these different blues. And then this speckled page. And then this was all cut out here where you could see the silver underneath. Well, I utilized all those different papers, the blues and all that. But I kept these. Now, I sprayed this and another one. Because one of them had openings and one of them was solid. So, yeah, I could never figure out what to do with this. It was made to be just like a little easel art where you could set it up on your desk or something. But this came from some of that background paper from Tim Holtz, and it's about the Northern Railroad Company. So I put it on here. I tried to save it where you could see the date and a few of the words underneath. Employee trip pass. I thought that was cool. And the way I put it down, because it was shorter than 12 inches, I actually tucked some things up underneath here. So this is from Wonders by Wink on Etsy, her train kit. I did that with my Western book with the what was that? It was some kind of a Western book. Now that's just, I don't think it has anything to do with trains, but I thought it was pretty with the writing. This is just a piece of collage paper that Tommy sent me. I just liked it because it had the music and the old words and things. That tucks in there. Now this is a pocket. Now this is the top part of that train. Right in here. And I just kind of put blue on the background, made it a pocket. And also, there was trees, but the trees went like in this layer right behind the train, but you couldn't see them. But I used them here on the bottom side of that. And there's that silver paper that I cut down. Here was the mountains. And I just colored them up. This was just blue paper. Then here is the other train. And I took these two papers that Tommy sent me. And it was just like solid. But I thought they were kind of cool looking. And then on the back I've got this. This is not a pocket, but it was like a 8.5 by 11. So I ripped this off of the top side and that off of the left. And then this was the bottom side. So, and then the last thing I was going to show you, I saw Shanuki Art. She was doing these little easy specimen things the other day. Well, I had these circles left over. And if you recognize them, they were from those cutouts from the Poe Journal. I know you're tired of hearing about the Poe Journals, but I had these two sizes of cutouts that I made so they were windows in my journal. And I went and I took, and it's always great to have nesting dies in your stash because you can use them for all kinds of stuff. There's different shapes. You can get squares, diamonds, triangles. You can get all kinds of stuff. So I took a couple of those and I cut out this window and I did 2 of them. And this is some vellum that I'd just gotten from Michael's a while back. And then these little guys, these little grid things, Tommy just sent me in some Happy Mail. And so I just kind of rubbed my vintage photo over it and cut out some bugs. A bug. Since he's purple, he went with that one. But they're just to tuck into your, into a pocket or to put on a page as a tuck spot, maybe. This one was like a pretty card that Kyung or Ren, she goes by Ren now, had sent me. And so I just cut that out to put on here. And of course it's got that where you can write on the back of this one. There's a ladybug. And then this one has a little bird. It's that, where did I use this? On the cover of the altered book I just did. It was that rose paper. And then that little birdie, he goes pretty good with that color. And then we got this red flower with a red bug. All right. I hope everybody got a few ideas from all this stuff that I showed you. I really appreciate you coming by. And I'll have something more chunky and got more meat to it to show you next time. All right. Everybody have a great, great day. Thank you, everyone. Bless you. Bye-bye.